track reviews.
Well, what do we have here? I'll tell you what we have here. It looks like 3 upcoming brand new albums from the one and only King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, set to drop all in the month of October within just like days of each other. The final of the 3 is this one here, Changes, has 7 tracks on it. It's releasing actually on my birthday. And you know what that means. If the record is bad, I can take off extra points. But by that same token, if the record is good and it brightens my birthday, extra points. We could see our first 11 out of 10. Looks like the cuts here were recorded between 2017 and 2022 in various home studios, buses, hotel rooms, green rooms, planes, parking lots. Hopefully it's pulled together in a way that is cohesive when it is finally released. We also have this one over here, dropping on the 11th of October, Laminated Denim. This one is going to contain 2 15-minute tracks. I wonder if we're even going to get like a teaser or a preview from this one. And then the first of the 3 records we're going to be seeing in October is Ice, Death, Planets, Lungs, Mushrooms, and Lava, which from what I can see here, yeah, that's pretty much all the requirements for enjoying a King Gizzard album. And hey, we have a teaser from it, and it's 10 minutes long. Let's give this track a spin. Get a listen to this monstrous cut underway and get a sense, hopefully, of what the band is going to be treating us to on this new full-length LP. Here we go. King Giz. Ba-bam. Okay, nice.
Ice 5.
I enjoyed that quite a bit. It reminded me, actually, after mulling it over a bit, and I had a bit to mull it over since it is 10 minutes long, of the really long, jammy cut that was the teaser track to their last LP that was about 18 minutes or so. The band is still like really in jam mode right now on this track. However, what I felt like that track could have done, or what it needed, was actually like delivered on this one. The jam was more condensed. It was a little more eventful. There were more peaks and valleys to be had across the performance, and there were some catchy moments as well. As far as the instrumental palette on this thing goes, pretty impressed by the really funky drum loops, the twangy rock guitars, the talk-sung verses from Stu at some points, which almost bordered a little bit on rapping. Not necessarily a bad thing. Interesting choice of some really dramatic chord changes too. Whole track felt like I was the protagonist in a detective show in the midst of some very humid setting, lots of beach montages in every episode, circa late 60s, early 70s. It's a very lighthearted little cut, and the instrumentation kind of builds up interestingly as it moves along. We get some touches of flute, some sax, some really quirky electric key leads too. Around the 3-minute mark is really where the song starts to take off into its jam phase, and it's in that moment that we start getting these various genre fusions. Like, yeah, we're getting some funk, we're also getting touches of psych, we're also getting touches of jazz rock as well. There's a bit of a soul flavor on the back end of the cut too, when you have those group vocals that are kind of building around that Ice 5 refrain. And after that little refrain, that little chorus passage, the jam gets even harder, heavier, more intense for a climactic finish. Maybe some will not be down for the idea of kind of sitting there through a 10-minute track, the more impatient among us. But as far as a jammy rock cut goes, with some interesting solo bits and a psychedelic flair, this is pretty good. This is dope. Does it feel as experimental or as urgent as some of my favorite records in the King Gizzard discography so far? No, but it is creative, well-produced, well-performed, and catchy, and I think well up to the quality standard that we've come to expect from King Gizzard so far. But yeah, Ice 5, interesting first introduction to this forthcoming record. Again, 3 of these babies coming out in October. Even though we do have a long, jammy cut here, I mean, this record could be a potpourri of different sounds and flavors and vibes, just like the last album, though obviously where we have a much shorter experience over here. They could all be long cuts, could be a mix. I imagine we're going to get a variation of sounds here, especially since a lot of the song titles seem to connect to things mentioned in the title of the album. Hopefully it all builds onto itself into an interesting concept where it all sort of, I don't know, feels greater than the sum of its parts. I mean, those are the records in King Gizz's discography, in my opinion, that tend to be the best. But yeah, there you go. Those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions on this track. Can't wait to hear more from this record and these other upcoming 2 records that we'll be hearing this year. You guys are the best. Let me know your thoughts on Ice 5 in the comments. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, King Giz, forever.